Welcome back, noble heroes. We return back to Mythia, where we find our characters in dire straits. They have unfortunately fallen prey to the might of Myrbbin's Tower's defenses, a networking system that was meant to stop armies. And unfortunately, it has stopped the characters for the time being. The 12-year-old son of Myrbbin, named Melen, has enacted the tower's defenses, and the characters are out for some vengeance, but first they must find a way to escape his deadly tower of dangers, or castle of dangers, if you will. They currently find themselves encased in cages, which only one of them has been able to escape so far, and have also been weakened, placed in toys or dolls, and must find their way out using these pathetic forms. Except for the mighty hero, who has become a strong teddy bear of great size. And so we return to our heroes, but first let me give you our disclaimer. We here at the Homebrew channel reserve the right to be horrible, crass, and crude when the story calls for it, but also to be delightful, sweet, and tug on your heartstrings. And remember, noble heroes, do try this at home. I'd like to go ahead and begin this session with a little intro here. Some said Myrbbin had become drunk one night. Others claimed he had always been highly interested in female persuasion and acted a buffoon and a hound at the many inns and taverns he had stayed at during his younger years. Still others had whispered that he had truly fallen in love once, a quiet and good-natured woman who had died tragically, leaving him his only son that shared his name. Whichever the truth was, Melen was alone. Ever a child, ever dutiful, was the boy's fate. He had never cried, not even once. He was always helpful and cooked and cleaned. He never visibly or mentally matured after he turned 12 years old, though he was almost 40. At first, he was Myrbbin's light and life. But as the wizard grew into his late 2nd century, that excitement and love for his son faded into the background. And as his real passion became a realistic goal, fame and legacy. Myrbbin's fate had garnered him the attention of the world, and the two had withdrawn into seclusion so he could perfect his knowledge-revealing dreams and garner the sort of intellectual legacy he had always sought. Melen never argued. Myrbbin became ever more reliant on the boy to clean up his spills and messes, which became more frequent as Myrbbin became more slovenly. Melen never spoke a word in protest. Myrbbin was only focused on his writing, combing his dreaming script for secret knowledge and parsing out half-riddles to reveal new magic and science. The world applauded. Melen didn't. Just behind his smiling face was a growing sense of hate. He was trapped in a maze of rules he could not break. One word from his father, and he was forever locked on a path. He couldn't even enter every room in the tower. He despised him, but there was nothing he could do to change. Then, fate broke. At first, the boy had no idea what had happened. He just decided not to make his father coffee that morning. In fact, he threw it on the ground and it broke. His father thought he had just been clumsy and ordered him not to be anymore. When he was supposed to be quietly studying, he was instead staring out the window at the dawn clouds. One looked like his father's magical tome. The new sun carried by the world dragon Sumsall fell upon his wicked little smile. Once he obtained the book, he could do whatever he wanted. At first, it had been marvelous. He forced his father to clean up his messes. He changed himself into all the coolest beasts, flew about the high plateau the tower rested on, and changed his father into a toy to play with. But after the first week, he became bored. He wrote letters in his father's handwriting to all the sages, asking them to come and visit him at the tower, but they were all busy, headed to some king's tournament thing. He wanted to go too, but if he left the tower, he couldn't use any of the magic, and his father would punish him so badly. He was trapped again. He could, between the only and worst punishment he had ever and would ever receive, and being stuck in the tower for the rest of his life, he began to despair. Then the doorbell rang. Visitors. He had expected a few of the less important sages had come to visit, but then he saw a godmother and the hero Roland. New people to play with. And such a famous hero would make him look awfully powerful. If he used the tower to capture him, that is. Other heroes might even come to save Roland, and he could make a whole army of playthings. This was going to be the greatest fun he had ever had in his life. You all find yourself in a frantic moment. The tension is ticking down as Melen's self-inserted 2-minute clock is already half gone, and only one of you has escaped your cages. Juniper, with quick thinking, created a hacksaw with a padded handle in order to make her way through the bars of the cage. Roland, all of your athletics are proving naught, as your body seems incapable of bending and flexing. Euphemia, you are small, but not small enough, it seems, to fit directly through the bars of your cage. And Isaac, you are making a good effort of animating the little matchstick that's holding your cage closed and having it wiggle free. From your excited gaze through a featureless face, you will see that apparently you have about 10 more seconds. And Hero is raging against his cage. His little fluffy bear arms are trying to hold himself so that he can stand his girth up in the cage, since he bonked himself to sit flat on his bottom. His legs seem short and stocky and quite unwieldy for getting himself back up from the ground. So he is struggling with that. And we will begin with Roland and Euphemia. What are your actions as Juniper's saw finally hacks through the last of her wood, freeing her from her cage? Are you all yelling anything or taking action?
She would probably start yelling, "Bring it here! Bring it here!"
June is very carefully going to click her way over to you, wincing every time she steps. Actually, do you have hands? Like actual working hands? Because I know his are connected to his joust pole.
So your hands can't open, but they can close. You have like a locked grip.
Okay.
But you have hands, right?
Yes.
Okay,
You have
get
a
it.
thumb and a web flipper.
Like a raggedy
It's
handle.
A flat
Well,
raggedy
you can
doll
hold
hand.
something.
So, as you head over towards Euphemia's cage, Roland, what are you up to?
How much time do we have left at this point?
You don't know. It seems like it's been forever and not enough time at all.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of here.
Yes, June is going to hand you, she's going to make a new saw, hand it to you, and then she'll cast again.
Euphemia is going to grab it and just vigorously start sawing.
Roland, don't give up. Come on, we gotta punch these cages out, he says. And he's gonna take his hand, very soft, and start like ramming his fist into the door handle, trying to break it. You hear a loud clatter. It's kind of and you realize that the fluff at the front of his fist is not actually impacting very hard against the door. But you do hear the door impact quite heavily several times against the frame, and the cage does rattle in an alarming manner, suggest he may be capable of breaking it with his fist. But he's not getting a good shot on it. However, your hand is much more solid than his, being made of wood, so perhaps you might be able to break it with yours.
Do I have a sword and a shield, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I'm going to start bashing it with my shield, I guess.
Okay, give me a strike check.
Because I don't want to risk breaking my sword.
10 feet.
15?
Okay. You're going to take your shield and sort of place it against your chest and boom, give it a hard ram against the door. You will see, you'll hear kind of a small, as the little matchstick, you're going to see a tiny little fracture appear. It's not broken. But you did, after like 3 or 4 of those, you have done some damage to the door. June, you carefully step over to Euphemia and you hand her the saw through the door.
Yes, and then she'll make another.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can hold up to 3, I believe.
Okay. She hands
Let me just
you
double-check
a
that, though.
magically created hacksaw through the bars of your cage. It barely fits. But you grab it, and your fingers flop over it. And give me a sleight of hand check as you try to hold on to it. It's harder for her than it is for you because you have digits.
She's also going from the bottom while she's going from the top.
Isaac, your cage door swings open as the matchstick falls out. It only opens maybe an inch, but you're able to sort of push
I
it
need to
open
roll too,
and
yeah.
leave.
Isaac instantly uses thaumaturgy, and he's going to make the door, like, whoosh,
Okay.
fly up.
It slams open harshly. As it does, the door seemingly wasn't really made to open that hard, and the door's just going to crack off and fly onto the floor.
Can I just, like, walk normally?
Yes.
Okay.
So your feet, you do feel kind of slippery a little bit because your feet
no.
are a little bit bowed
Yeah.
at the bottom. It clearly, like, you were supposed to be, like, hanging from something, not walking. And you do sense, like, there's, like, a little metal connector piece in the back of your skull.
Okay.
You don't really feel it very much unless you, like, touch it. And then you feel, like, cold metal on the back of your head.
Okay.
Okay, you roll a
9.
sleight of hand check. So you fumble with the saw, and you are having a great deal of difficulty getting the wedge of your 4 fingers into the saw handle. So you're like struggling with that, and your hand keeps slipping out. It's really frustrating, considering how normally dexterous your fingers are. Okay, about 30 seconds has passed from the start time, so you have maybe 30 seconds left, roughly. June, you've created a second saw. Where are you taking it?
Well, I said I was helping Yuffie try to get out.
So you're going to saw additionally at her bar?
Well, I figure we'd meet in the middle.
Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check then on her door.
It's a 2.
A 2? Okay.
We're just really failing.
So, the saw in your hands, you were going to say something?
I was like, I think that they're getting in each other's way, and she's probably going to stop in a second. She's like, this is dumb.
And Yuffie's looking a little bit panicked because this never happens to her. Usually she can get her way out of anything like that.
So, you give it a good try. And while you're getting in each other's way, unfortunately, hers kind of catches on yours and pulls it through her cage to land on the floor inside her cage.
Oh, goodness.
Meaning
gracious.
she's gonna have to bend down, pick it up, and hand it back through the bars.
Or I could just dismiss the effect.
Okay, yeah, so you could do that too, and recast it as an action, which will cost you about 6 seconds. Okay, Isaac, you have stepped out of your cage.
going to stop
You're gonna
and go
see
help him.
Hero.
Actually,
Hero
she'll
has
help
decided
Hero.
to like fatten himself to maximum capacity and start like bumbling back and forth to try to rock the cage over.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually
He
really
is the
I
only
was
one
gonna
who is
try to
fat
do that,
enough
but
or big
yeah.
enough to do this.
Just checking, which direction is he doing that in?
He's doing it side to side, kind of.
Like, that way?
Yes.
Okay, that's acceptable. Just
Okay.
checking.
He's sort of moving it back and forth, and it's like the cage is vaguely rocking, but it's very clearly there's something, maybe glue, holding it to the ground. So it's like it's bending at the top, but not really rocking on the bottom. It also looks like Hero might not make it out in time. He's going to take his little staff, pick it up off the ground, and start like whacking at the lock again as he changes up his tactics. What do you do, Isaac?
Oh, can you use a saw?
Are my hands capable of using the saw?
Yes.
Okay.
You believe so. You go like that.
She says,
And-
Isaac,
Yeah.
come here!
As long as the saw can like be put in your hand.
I'm going to go to Hero's cage, and I'm going to take one of the saws. And instead of trying to use my own lack of musculature to move the saw, I'm just going to like hold the saw steady and then animate it to move itself forward and back.
Good call. Don't get out of 10 feet of me.
Okay.
Otherwise it'll despawn.
Okay, so the saw needs some kind of means of locomotion. It has to be on the ground or something. It can't just like move back and forth of its own accord while being held up in the air by your hand.
Well, it would be being held against something.
Well, sitting against the matchstick.
So it
right?
could like vibrate, but it can't like push your hand back and then pull your hand
I
back.
got you. I got you.
That would be like
I have
trying to do that
idea.
to a bird.
Yeah.
Like the bird can like flutter around, but it has wings and stuff. Like the saw has no wings or legs.
How far away would Roland's cage be from Isaac?
It is about 15 feet in your guys' method.
Okay, I can't go yet. I have another idea.
I'll start sawing normally then.
Okay, you take the saw, and Roland, it looks like you're gonna maybe have one more chance to break out of this cage before it's over.
10.
All right, you try to ram the door several more times, each one just a little more frantic, a little harder. The wood of your shoulder seems very solid, so nothing happens there, but a little top piece of your kite shield sort of breaks off as you ram it the last time.
Oh no.
The little locking mechanism is like a breath's away from shattering, but you do not break it in the amount of time that you have. And I need a sleight of hand check from Isaac and one from each of you as well.
Can I recast that saw into being one of these back and forth ones?
So it has a
where
handle
you
on the
have
other side?
one handle on each side?
Oh.
That's cute.
Yes, I will allow the one of you with the better sleight of hand to roll with advantage rather than each of you rolling individually.
18.
Okay.
Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah,
Oh,
roll
no,
again,
I
see what
didn't.
you
One
get.
more.
Okay,
You can
okay.
crit, who knows?
No, I didn't.
No. It's okay. That was definitely my roll.
Okay. As you place your hand out, you inform Euphemia to sort of put her hands up. And she does, and suddenly like the handle of a double-sided saw appears in your hands as she sort of summons it between the door. So the blade is actually like through the middle of the door. And then realizing what she's doing, both of you sort of start pulling back and forth.
It's only this long, so
So very short. Okay, a little hand snap.
it's only a cubic foot.
And
It's a
so a
baby.
cubic foot's actually quite big by the standard you're at.
Oh,
It's
sure.
gigantic, in fact.
Oh, so yeah, okay. It's a good
Probably
size saw now,
the height of me, right?
dude.
Yeah.
I could.
I think on
I have an idea.
on our scale, a cubic foot is like this.
I didn't even think about that. Okay, I know exactly how I'm getting you out of that cage.
All right.
Take a saw from heroes to mine.
And Isaac, what did you roll for your sleight of hand?
Hilariously,
8.
but no.
8? Okay. You're going at it. He hasn't done any work on that matchstick, though. His fluff, it doesn't seem capable of getting a lot of traction. And as you saw frantically at it, all of you, Euphemia, you are very pleased when the little match breaks and your door sort of lightly swings open. So
Carefully
you're free,
stick out.
but you're in the spot. Roland, Hero, Isaac, you guys all hear the clattering of the multi-legged monster returning back down the stairs. And what sounds like of like a little squeaky doll toy, coming down the other two hallways to the side. As you hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet, and you see little monster figurines. Place 3 on the left side and 2 on the right side, please. And your green friend has returned. Place him at the tip of the stairs, if you would, Sarah. And we have pre-rolled initiative, so we begin with the big guy. So he enters, and if you could go ahead and move him forward 30 feet into the room. 30 inches.
Like here?
So
he moves 5 squares forward.
Here?
Yeah.
he goes to the other
Um,
castle.
I think
Should
if
be lean
you...
forward.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And he cannot take a swipe at anybody from there, so he's
Thought he
going to
was
move
going over.
adjacent to both. He's going to dash and move adjacent to Juniper and Euphemia, please.
Thank you.
Like right up on us?
Yes.
Okay.
So the creature's legs seem to have little tiny claws formed out of tiny little metal shards. And you're going to hear this horrible as his legs move in time like some kind of horrid spider, attacking towards the two of you. And it charges viciously. And you're going to hear the pitter-patter of little feet as each one of the monsters are additionally going to, they're going to dash into the room. So go ahead and move them forward 5 squares as well. And as one of them enters, you're going to see he kind of tries to throw the little bat in his hand towards Euphemia, but the bat like won't leave his hand. It's like stuck to his fist. So he like shakes it a couple times and then like looks at it and then just charges forward with a dash instead. So they're right there. All of them sort of try to hurl their weapons and fail. So it is Juniper. You're up.
Daniel, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
You gave me limited death magic, which lets me target an extra creature with a cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
I also have Reaper, which lets me do the same thing. So can I stack the two?
So you don't have any of the abilities from your regular.
Oh, I
That's
gotcha.
why I gave you that ability. It acts like Reaper.
Gotcha.
So, you said the cages were glued down. Are there any open space at the bottom?
If you intentionally fall prone or roll a perception check as your action, you can check that out.
Don't fall.
I'm not gonna fall. That's a horrible idea. I'm made of porcelain, you crazy person. She is going to move around to the side where Roland's cage is.
Okay, if you stay adjacent to the creature,
Yes.
you won't provoke an opportunity attack. So just move her around to the back green feather towards Roland.
That's tricky.
It's like over here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that close enough, or do you want to be like on this side?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Basically what she wants to... Can I bend?
Yes.
She's going to bend, and then I guess I have to use my turn for perception check.
Okay.
This will be fun. Should have used passive. 11.
As you bend down, you do see that there are maybe like small gaps in whatever adhesive is holding the cage down.
Is there one near where I am?
Yes.
Good.
Within arm's reach, if you wanted it.
Okay.
As you check that out, you will additionally see that the joints of the creature's legs are not fused with the wood. They appear to be rather lightly attached, like they were hastily made. It looks like they were put together by a 12-year-old child, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. And it's made of wood and feathers, so highly flammable.
Correct. All right, and it
Not like a
is
big monster at all.
Euphemia. Your turn.
Fortunately, all of you are flammable as well.
Yeah.
She's going to... Okay, so what does the back of the creature look like exactly? Like,
It's got like a cape of feathers. Its back is really just like a rail of wood.
how about where its head is connected? Like the back of the
its
neck.
face is like plastered onto the wooden beam that
Okay.
makes up the entirety of the
Okay.
length of its body. It really just looks like the toy there.
Okay, she's gonna pull out the dull needle and charge
Okay.
towards one of the legs.
As you whip out the needle, you're going to hear a and you will see a illusory Melen appear on the ceiling, a very small little image of him. And you see him sort of clapping, and you see his face sort of like close to whatever image caster is showing it. So he's like, his nose is really big in the image. And he's like looking in and kind of squinting and laughing and clapping.
June's porcelain face scrunches into a death glare.
All right, you hear like this alarming like creak in your cheeks as your cheeks bunch up. As you whip out the needle, a very tiny, light object, but very pointy and sharp. You
It is very
charge.
pointy. She'll charge for the closest, I guess, leg to her.
All right.
Let's see. So guess 14?
Okay, that hits.
Okay. And the damage is so tiny. Oh, God.
All right, what are we looking at?
1d2?
1d2?
What is it? What?
So roll a d4, and then if 1, 2 is 1, and 3, 4 is 2.
Sad.
So 2 points.
2 whole points.
2 points.
2.
Do you get any bonus? Is it just 1d2?
It just says 1d2.
All right, just 1d2. All right, and do you have a sneak attack ability on there?
Yes, I do. Which is only 2d6 more damage.
2d6?
That's what it says.
Okay, that seems
I
pretty
swear I'm
good.
not making
that's
it up.
great.
Yeah.
The scale we're working with.
Yeah. 6 more.
Okay, so 8 points. So, as you move forward, you see some of those weakened joints on the creature. And as you jump towards, you will actually turn mid-leap, landing on your back and almost sliding on your doll back beneath the creature. And then you jam the needle up into one of its leg joints. And as you go like that, you hear a little pop, and the leg just comes off entirely. You have broken the adhesive joint. And the creature wobbles alarmingly before shifting its second right leg to compensate for the loss of the other one.
As she's sliding under it, is there going to be an option for her to scamper up on the creature's back?
As you go, you begin to climb up its cape like a little rope ladder. And you are hanging by it as it's thrashing to try to get you off. Anything else?
I don't suppose she could steer it at all as it's thrashing.
Maybe on your next turn. You would say that the creature's, without its leg, it's definitely off balance. It probably is a little easier to hit. And it is you, Roland. Your turn.
I guess I'm gonna try shield bash on this door again.
All right.
Yay! 16.
All right. You bust the door wide, finally.
Good.
As the lock breaks, the cage door is going to fling open. Actually,
It's gonna hit him.
yeah, it actually is going to deal a point of damage to the
Nice.
creature.
Would it not?
The way that it flings open, the creature rolls athletics to not fall over. Euphemia.
And he's missing a leg on that side.
Okay, the creature's going to wobble around, and you hear this kind of this vaguely monster noise, like something was recorded in the monster. It's like roar, and you're gonna see the creature's arm sort of hold against Hero's cage, and then it's gonna kind of struggle to wobble back forwards.
He's
with
gonna
its,
fall on top of me.
upright bulk.
What if I kept running into him?
You might be able to topple him.
He's
Do it.
Can I roll as an attack another strength check?
You may
keep
roll a
charging?
disadvantaged athletics check.
Okay.
Because you've already kind of broken part of your momentum, but I'll allow you to do it as a bonus action with disadvantage.
What would athletics check be because I don't have?
So it's your strength score.
So it's still strength.
Yeah, unless
Okay.
you have it trained down there in your skills.
Okay. So disadvantage is just roll twice and
Yeah, I think you should have it trained actually down there in your skills. Yeah, it is. It's +2.
yeah.
Oh,
14.
shit. Whoa.
Not
Can
bad.
Yuffie lean into the momentum too to help topple him?
Yeah, you are.
That's smart.
I'm gonna flip this sucker.
So as
Do it.
You hear
the
Isaac
creature is
going?
going to be knocked over, and Yuffie, with your little pigtails on the back of your head go flying upwards as you begin to topple over with the creature.
Does he pull Hero's
Shoving your
cage
weight.
over?
And the cage is going to, the lower part of the front is going to crack upwards, allowing Hero to sort of pick it up and toss it over his head, freeing himself. As he opens the cage, you're going to see him go, "Rah!" as he rushes forward with his little staff. So, Hero's staff is his hand is like this, and his staff compared to his hand is that big.
Oh my gosh.
So it's more like a baton that he can hit people with. It clearly was not sized for the teddy bear. It was more sized for Euphemia. So he has broken free thanks to Roland. And you have
Euphemia.
inspiration, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, the creature's going to fall prone, so all attacks against him have advantage. And that was it for him. And it is Isaac. You're up.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to go ahead and volunteer that Roland is prone also. I would have put everything into knocking him over, so I'm on top of him probably.
So-
Okay,
On top of
so you're like
one of his
holding
legs.
him down. So
Yeah,
I'm
like,
going to
I-
consider you have grappled him for falling
Okay.
prone.
So,
gonna
Daniel,
say.
I'm here and the creature fell prone this way. So I think I'm knocked over by the creature.
Okay, all right.
Go
So
sideways.
it's half your speed to stand up from
All I
it.
have to say
Oh,
is,
that's okay.
better you than me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stand far away from
I'm
me.
gonna,
I'm
okay.
kind of
Well,
sitting there going,
here's kind of what's up. Like the creature's fell over and is leaning against the cage. So
Gotcha.
I would say it's actually like above your head. The lumber of its middle form is
Yeah.
like balanced on the cage.
Mhm.
And since Roland is holding it down, he's just like leaning his weight into it to keep it that way, but it's like actually over your head.
So because he's like that, will I get no way if I move away from him?
Will he get an OA against you?
Yeah.
With disadvantage.
Okay.
Are you going to go for the little guys?
I wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
All right. I'm going to move from him and I'm going to put
Scape's
myself
run
in the
out.
center of all the little guys.
Okay. Does 9 hit you?
No.
Okay. His hand takes a wild swipe at you.
Yeah.
But it is going to. He's not able to turn
legs
his
can
face to see you, so it's just gonna sort of. It's just gonna hit air.
Okay. He swipes at me and I'm going to move in the center of these guys.
Okay. As you rush into the middle of them, they're all going to kind of turn dumbly towards you and sort of stare at you.
Are they just like little goblin toys?
So they're like generic monster toys that you would see crafted in Selenox. Little kids, there's like branding deals of certain monster figurines, and these are some of like the more expensive ones.
Oh, man.
There's like a mix of like little kobolds in there, and one of them is an orc, which is sort of offensive, but whatever.
Okay, I'm going to... did I have a staff when I woke up in the cage?
Yes,
'Cause
it
if
was sort
not-
of leaning to the side, and it's
Okay.
got like 3 little rocks on it. Your weapon's probably the most weighty.
Okay. I'm going to take my staff and Isaac kind of like twirls it in the air and then brings it down and he's going to cast Word of Radiance.
Okay, sick. And what is the save, or is it an attack roll?
Con saving throw.
Con save.
They need to make a 10.
Make a 10. Literally none of them make it.
Okay. I do half damage on my spells, so I do 3 damage because I roll 6.
Okay, that's very effective. As you move in the center of them, what does a Word of Radiance look like coming from Isaac? We haven't seen the spell from you yet.
That's a good question. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. Probably just like a sparkling light that would come up and then burn them.
Okay, as it sears outwards, so all of these monsters have been like badly painted by a little kid. So you're gonna the paint is gonna like boil on them as it strikes them, reducing their armor. You imagine a little chips sort of fly away from them, exposing sort of the wood and resin underneath.
I don't know, I feel bad.
I know, I felt bad too.
All right, and it is finally Hero. Hero is going to make use of the creature in front of him being down, and he's going to strike it with tiny staff. Okay, double hits. He's gonna like whack, whack. He sort of bats the creature in the face with his tiny staff. He does a massive 4 points of damage. So as he whacks the creature in the face, he is actually going to knock its face off. So it's just like a wooden beam exposed, and there's like a little bit of glue on the beam. And he's like, "That's right!" And he sort of like keeps whacking it partially in the face. The creature is like trying to ward him off with its little metal hand. But Hero is unrelenting in his attacks.
If the face is off, is it blind now?
You don't know.
Huh.
I mean, clearly the creature is animated.
Yeah.
You're not sure how it works, to be honest. You're not very well versed in magical animation. You're going to see like the too close image of Melen in the image up on the ceiling sort of backs up, and you see him kind of like see him sort of look upset that the face of his monster's off. And you're going to hear him kind of vaguely whisper, put a lot of work into that.
Oh, poor Melen.
All right.
Don't pity the little brat. What's wrong with you?
I know.
He made me breakable.
All right. Okay, and he's going to say, yes, now it's my monster's turns. And all of the monsters get to go.
Hold him tight, please.
So the large wooden toy is grappled. He's going to try to break grapple. So he rolls an athletics, or he rolls an acrobatics check versus your athletics, sir.
Okay. Do I roll?
Yes. So he rolls a measly...
Oh,
Okay.
he's so held.
You are able to hold him down. So he is held, but he is very big. So compared to you, he's like double your size. So he is going to stand up since he can't get rid of you and carry you around. But you are holding several of his arms to his body, so he's going to get disadvantage on any attack rolls while you're still grappling him.
Isn't Yuffie still kind of attached to
Yeah,
him
she's on his
too?
back.
Yeah, so both of you are going to go with him. So he has an ability called Tall Stride, so he can move over everybody else, except for Hero. So he is going to move half his speed, so he will move 3 squares back towards his monsters and stand over them.
He runs away?
He has an ability that means he doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
Not like I
His
could do
legs
anything
just kind of
to
lift him
but-
up and like step over you all very
So would you say
Fire
he's
overall
like
on him?
here?
He's like
Well,
there.
unfortunately, no. I'd have to
Just
take a
place him
swing
over
at him
them.
with my porcelain.
Over
No,
them?
don't do that.
He's literally in their squares.
Okay.
Telling you, break a finger
And
off the shit.
Roland and Euphemia, both of you guys go with him.
Go ahead.
Each
Euphemia's
Euphemia,
like
because he's
back
grappled as he is, you have advantage to attack him right now.
Oh, yeah. She'd love
yeah?
to.
All right. He wasn't able to attack because you have so many of his arms, and you've got him grappled. So you wasted his attack. And the badly painted miniatures are going to attack. So
Nice.
Oh, I think I
Roland, the monster is going to like shake you, and the 2 monsters adjacent to you are going to turn and like try to whack you on the backside.
So did I.
So VAC 9 and 21.
21 hits.
Okay. He's going to stab you for 4 points of piercing.
get
The creature is going to
That's a fifth of
strike
my hit points.
and is going to bury his little
There.
it looks like a tiny penknife into your back. You do feel pain, but you don't like as he pulls it out. There's no like blood or anything. It's just your toy. The other 3 are going to turn on Isaac and attack him violently with their weapons. They pile up on you. Isaac, 11 and 15 and 9.
2 hit, 1 miss.
Okay. Seven points total.
Okay.
All right. As you are piled on, the creatures are going to like leap on you and start like stabbing violently on your marionette body. And their weapons will pierce into you, leaving you with several long, scarred cuts on your upper shoulders. And that is their turn. And it is Jennifer. You're up.
June is going to turn and throw she considered throwing a firebolt at the big guy, but considering all of her companions are flammable, she decided that would be a poor idea. So instead, she's going to throw it at one of the little guys.
Okay.
bowl with it?
Which
Like,
one?
Bowl a couple of
The one that's farthest away from the feather guy.
Give me an attack roll.
She rolled a 23.
All right. So as you summon the fire cantrip, it is like a giant ball of flame.
Oh, shite.
So you're like this, and it just roars to the ceiling because it's the normal size that Jennifer would cast.
Oh, God.
So you like hurl this massive flaming fireball.
It's basically
at
a
the creatures.
fireball. Gotcha.
That's not what we were expecting.
June's eyes click wider, and she's like, oh, shit.
As you literally have to 2-hand hurl it over your head to launch it, and it like slowly roils and just might melt this guy. Go ahead and roll damage.
2.
2. Okay. So the creature is going to leap out of the way. Its eyes sort of go wide. The heat of the fireball is going to begin to melt the paint on the side of his face, almost recreating the scene at the end of Indiana Jones where the guys just melt away. So that one has taken 2 additional points, and
Is he on fire?
no, the flaming ball is going to hit the side of the castle, and you're going to see something interesting. As soon as it hits the castle wall, rather than bursting and dissipating, it's going to be absorbed. And your brain is going to instantly recognize a magical dampener on the walls of this castle, which means Melen can't cast spells through the walls. It probably as an attempt to keep you inside and play his little game. He has also stopped himself from interacting unless he did it before.
Well, at least there's that.
So your ball's going to hit the wall, and it will sort of dissipate.
Balls to the wall, man.
Balls to the wall. It is Euphemia. You are hanging by the back of these feathers, and you've pulled one out and sort of throw it away as you grab another one.
Is there any kind of vulnerable joint area anywhere?
He's literally vulnerable joints. That's what he's made of.
Okay, whichever one is closest, she's going to take her little dull needle and just rear back and just start trying to jam it in there.
All right. You attack with advantage.
I already rolled and I got a 24. So
24.
She
Yeah.
crit.
You
crit.
jam. Oh, you crit?
Yeah.
All right. You jam your needle in, and you get to. Don't forget, you double all your dice, and then add 1. You double all your dice.
Wait, when you crit, you do?
Yeah. Correct.
Oh, okay.
So you double all your damage dice.
So, wow, 4
Okay. 4.
plus sneak attack.
Yeah. Double your sneak attack.
So I get to roll twice.
Correct.
Or really?
Yeah. You double sneak attack.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So
That's the best
that's
part of being a rogue.
plus 8.
Okay, as you jam the needle
No, I'm
into the
not
center
done.
point, no, it kills him.
It kills him. It kills him.
So as you jam the needle directly in the middle, you see the wedges of the 2 logs is going to begin to separate, in the center of his core. And as you just drive the needle deeper, you sort of wedge it upwards, and it holds as it lifts his upper half off his lower half of his body, causing him to sort of timber over. And it falls and kind of clanks against the wall on the floor. And the creature's lower body is just going to kind of...
She's probably going to cackle madly and then realize she's going over with the lower part of the body.
you leap off and sort of land as the body, does timber over. And the 2 pieces land unenthusiastically in the center.
She's going to land with a little flashy bit with her dull needle, woo, look what I just did.
You're going to see the little monster figurines. They sort of look around and you see them they're not trembling, but they're definitely backing up. And then you're going to hear, "Get 'em!" from Melen. And the little monsters are going to charge for it again. All right, it is Roland.
So Roland certainly wasn't expecting the thing that he was holding on to just drop dead. So he's gonna fall with it.
No, I'm not.
And he'll go with the momentum and land on his back right around these guys. And while he's down, he's just gonna
Stab.
stab it.
Okay, you thrash out. Would you like
Is
to
it
take your...
disadvantage?
If you're prone,
I'm gonna
but
say
you
I'm
can
on the
also
ground.
stand up as part of your movement. It would cost you half your movement to stand up.
Yeah, sure. He'll stand up and
Okay,
try
you
to
scrabble up and you whack
Try to
away.
whack. 2 hits and 14 and 18.
Both of those will hit because the paint chip ability has affected all of these guys, and they have -1 AC.
Paint chip.
2 damage. Would that one still be alive?
Jennifer, is he attacking one of the ones you firebolt?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That dude is still alive, yes.
So 2 damage. He's still alive.
Yep.
2 damage again.
Okay. He is still up, but barely. As you reach out and whack him with the matchstick, he is going to be like, and you keep whacking him on the side of the head over and over again. This wooden sword is pretty terrible,
I know.
to be honest with you. But as you whack it several more times, you're actually going to snap it, and you will see as it breaks that there is just like a metal core to it underneath.
So now
it's
it's more
probably
dangerous.
much more effective.
So that's more dangerous.
Nice.
Good.
It's a little shorter, but more dangerous. All right, that was Roland's turn. You hear the voice of the other in your head. Find an angle. And
He shakes that off because he's frustrated. 'Cause everybody has attacked all of these guys, so there is no way any of this counts as one-on-one. And he is so pissed off because that dude does this all the time to him. He does this all the time to him. They'll be in a battle and there will be literally no one that the shit applies to. And he's like, figure out a way. And he's like, there's no way. Like, all I can do is do this myself. And you talking to me during it, it just pisses him off even more. So he's frustrated.
from another recess of your mind, you're going to hear, "Don't worry about it, chum. Get him!"
I hate this. I hate that one even more. I hate that one even more.
I love it. I wish I could hear it.
Roland, you're going to see the first other is going to sort of look over the horizon and see the second.
What do you?
You're up.
Reality is broken.
Okay.
Oh no.
Isaac's been dogpiled by these things because he thought they would go down in one hit, but they didn't. And so he's like, oh, damn it. And he's going to take his staff and he's just going to cast Word of Radiance again.
Okay.
Will that blast him off of him at least?
Hopefully, if it kills him.
Could melt them.
Give me more con saves.
How many are there?
5.
Are none of them dead yet?
Does that hit all of them?
Did none of them die yet?
Okay. Only the one in the back right corner, closest to me, fail. Everybody else succeeded.
Okay. Then he's going to take 2 damage.
Okay.
And then the rest take none, I think, because it's cantrip.
Yes. All right. Yeah, they're still up, all of them.
These little guys are
No,
tough.
they're way tougher than the big guy. it
So
seems.
the big guy was made of wood. These guys are made of pewter. That's why they're tougher.
Little stone figurines.
All right. You're imagining the big guy wasn't expected to be pinned down and continually whacked to death immediately upon arrival.
Hey.
Well, it would
How
have
we
set
do.
on fire, but
Totally.
So this time they're gonna like
like
shield
that.
themselves, and their already like burnt away arms are going to take the heat fairly effectively. Only one of them sort of like throws back his arms and is burned by the blast. And it is Hero who is going to rush out and run adjacent to Roland on my side. And he's going to whack the one guy once and see what happens. Okay. As he strikes, he's finally going to kill that one that you attacked. So he's going to whack him several more times. And you're going to see like his neck start to come apart. And he finally whacks the top of the head off with his stick. And then he turns and you and him, he's like going to go like this. And you're kind of like pulling back and your weapon gets in his face. And he's like, watch out. And then he's going to kind of fall over because of his stubby legs and has to get back up for the rest of his turn. All right. Melen is up above and he is looking down at the proceedings and you see him kind of like trying to spot things you guys are doing. And he's definitely like watching Roland a lot. But he did like his eyes sort of flipped down and he sort of narrowed them towards you when you killed the big guy.
Do you mind if I pick up and move the big guy?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's
he dead?
donezo.
And the little figurines, those 2 closest to Roland are going to turn towards him and attack him, and the other 2 are going to attack Isaac. Oh, wait. One of them is going to turn towards Euphemia. So 1 Isaac, 1 Euphemia, and 2 Roland. Euphemia, this one's you. 15 hits. 1 against Isaac. Total miss. And the 2 against Roland. What's your AC?
12.
Okay, 1 hit. Okay. Roland, you take 4 piercing damage.
Nice.
Euphemia, you take 2.
And halves
No.
that.
Did I hit you? I did. Yeah, I did
did.
hit you. 2 points.
So she's gonna use uncanny dodge to slide.
All right.
out of
So
the way
as he goes
slightly.
like this towards you, your body's going to like woo as you sort of bend in a way only a doll could, with no bones at all, and slide around his needle as he just kind of catches a little stitch of you and pulls it out.
Does she lose stuffing?
So your stuffing is still hanging in there.
Okay.
It's not a big enough hole to lose stuffing from.
Thankfully, you have a needle, so we can always sew you back up.
That's horrible.
You can use your hair.
All right, and that was it for them. It is Jennifer. You're up.
Okay, Jennifer is going to turn, realizing how giant the fireballs are and the fact that all of her friends are flammable, decides that that's probably not the best idea. So
Okay.
instead, she's going to hold her hands together and do the gesture necessary for the spell. And she's going to cast Toll the Dead. They've all taken damage, correct?
Yes, all of them.
Okay, so she's going to aim at that fellow right here.
Okay.
And
what
he
does
makes
need
a
to-
wisdom save, please.
He rolled. Their wisdom is very bad. Is it 8?
It'll fail.
Fail. Okay. All right, and he takes damage.
Yes, so a gigantic bell appears over his head. It's like the size of the room, and everybody's gonna hear this deafening sound of a bell clanging, and she's just like, oh, as she winces. And he will take 3 damage.
3 points.
Down.
All right. So he has taken some significant damage, and as he is struck, you're going to see his form kind of freeze, like he's stunned for a moment, and then he sort of falls hard as though he took pain, and then he's going to kind of right himself dazedly. He's not dead yet. Anything else?
She is going to back up again, just slightly.
Okay.
Very gingerly.
Okay, you gingerly back up. It is
Would you
Euphemia.
mind scooting me backward just a smidge, please?
Like back here?
Hi.
She's gonna launch an attack at the guy who attacked her with her little dull needle.
All right, you come forward and try to jam it into him.
It's a 9. Does 13 hit?
13 with his -1 AC hits.
Oh,
He
okay.
has paint chip.
Yay!
Nice.
Okay. So 2, and then she can use sneak attack still, right?
Yeah, you're adjacent to Isaac there.
And an additional. Oh wow! An additional 9.
Okay. As you move forward, you're gonna like jam it into his shoulder, and then you realize that the needle isn't super effective against these guys. So as he's sort of like struggling against that, you sort of just kick him over, and he like falls apart on the ground and scatters. You kill him. You break him into little pieces, and that is Euphemia. Unless you want to move, Roland, you're next.
I'm ready.
She'll just be approaching like the guy who's closest to Isaac, I guess.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And Roland, you're up.
The one who hit him last time,
Mhm.
he's gonna come at that guy. 15 AC,
Yes, definitely a hit.
4 damage.
4 points.
He's still up.
Yes.
21 hit,
Yes, that hits definitely.
and that will be 3 damage. He's still up.
Yes.
He's gonna expend a charge and do 2 extra damage.
Okay, you will bring him from almost full to completely dead. And
He's
your-
just jamming that metal tip into this dude's head over and over and over and over again.
So as you hit him the first couple of times, you form like a little like a hole in his eye, and then you start like jamming it until the sword tip is going all the way through his head. And as it finally breaks out the other side of his skull, you sort of just like rip the rest of his face away, and his head falls apart.
He's just gonna look at the guy next to him.
The creature's gonna kind of dumbly stare at you, and then like look down at his friend, and then like look up at Melen, and Melen goes like that.
I feel really bad for the guys.
I know.
That's awful.
All right, you're up, Isaac.
Okay. Isaac looks pretty frustrated, and he just says, "Why won't these things hurry up and break?" And he's going to take his staff and just swing it like a baseball bat and try and knock one of them over.
Okay.
This one back here.
Sure.
He misses. I rolled a 3.
All right. Unfortunately, as you swing down, the creature is going to nimbly duck beneath your attack and then jump away from you. You are going to note that this staff clearly it's not an illusionary staff, it's just a stick with rocks on it.
Right.
And...
It has 3 rocks on it? Like mine?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. All right.
Anything else?
I will give him his attention to detail is pretty good.
Yeah.
No, he nailed us.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it for my turn.
Okay. And it is Hero. He is going to rush forward to that, the weakened... He's going to work... Yeah, but that one. Yes. He's going to whack twice with his tiny staff.
Tiny staff.
No. He will move forward, and that one is now paranoid because he saw what happened to his buddy, Roland. And as Hero, rushes forward, he's going to trip on part of the floor and just sort of, boom, against him and fall back.
Poor Hero.
He's going to, struggle to, get up, and he's kind of, trying to roll over. He goes, "These darn legs!" And they're going to, kick around in the air. And that is it for him. The monsters... Isaac, that one who's been after your life, is going after you again.
Oh, no.
After your life.
13 VAC.
Hits.
And the one that Hero just attacked goes after him and is going to hit. So 2 hits. Hero takes 3, but he has a lot of hit points.
I was going to say, does Hero have a lot of hit points? I figured
How
effective
have a
is
lot.
damage against a cushy,
Teddy bear,
pushy
yeah.
bear. Especially with a blunt object.
And Isaac, 4
blunt
points of
that.
piercing.
I'm down.
You're down?
Yeah.
All right. Isaac, as he comes forward and jams his little blade into your shoulder, your arm is just going to come off. And you fall over on the ground like he's dead.
Okay.
And you see, Melen sort of, yes. All right, and it is Juniper. You're up.
Well, Jumper was planning on attacking, but now she has to cure you. So, I'm going to cast the spell whose name is currently escaping
Healing
me.
word or cure wounds?
That's what I'm double checking. Healing word.
The touch one? Oh, no, that's the...
It's range 60 feet.
Yeah.
So I can cast from the other side of the castle.
Yes.
So she's going to point at you, and a brilliant light, similar to the one that you used for Radiance, swirls around his body and sparkles in her signature spec. And you will... Do I get the full effect of the heal?
Yes.
Wow.
Well then, you're going to be pretty healed.
Yay. Can that roll over to everybody else?
So 7.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
All right.
Thankfully, being a porcelain doll does not affect my intelligence, so...
The light is going to fuse your arm back onto your form and fix several of the scars that have been placed upon you by the monsters, but you're still prone.
Okay.
But you
Oh,
do
it's just
feel
a
a lot
bonus
better.
action. Oof, I'm still attacking. Okay, she's going to point again. Wisdom save, please.
No, a failure.
The one that's not closest to Roland is the one she's attacking.
The one that keeps ruining Isaac's day.
Yes. She's going after that one. 4 damage.
That is enough to destroy him. As the bell tolls, his body just shatters to 1,000 pieces, destroying him utterly.
Yay,
You guys will
Ketris.
see that enviously that Juniper's fingers are able to make the intricate symbols of magic with her little porcelain fingers, although she is a little slower to cast them than usual. All right, that
sick of
is
she
her.
being
It is Euphemia. Your turn.
So, she actually would have started probably once he knocked Isaac down, getting ready to charge him.
Yeah.
So she kind of stops mid-charge, Oh, he's dead.
Exploded.
He did.
Exploded.
So I guess she's gonna reroute and try to attack this guy.
Okay, yeah. And you get the sneak attacks.
Yeah. 15.
15 hits, yes.
Okay. 2 and 3. 5.
5 points. All right, he's not down yet. As you jam your needle into his back, the creature's going to like try to thrash around and get at the needle on his back, but his arms don't really do that. All right, and it is you, Roland.
He's watching this guy have a hard time. He's sorry, little guy. He starts just jamming him in the stomach really hard. 17,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
does 4 damage.
That will destroy him.
Okay.
All right. As you jam the needle into him, you eventually reach a point of no return where you hear kind of a cracking noise, and the creature just sort of stops moving and falls over like a dead bug. As the creatures have been destroyed all around you now, you hear, "Darn it!" And you see Melen. He's going to go, "Yes, a daring escape," he says. "Well done, heroes. But still, there's plenty more dangers left in my tower. Remember, if you reach the top, I'll let you free," he says. And then you're going to see him kind of go like this. "Turn off. Tower, turn off the thing." And you're going to see him go like that, and then he sort of nods to himself. And as he turns around, you can tell that he clearly doesn't think you can see him anymore, but you can. You kind of see him like go back into the room, wherever he is. And now that he's like backed away from whatever he's looking at, you can tell that there seems to be a lot of other buildings, small dioramas perhaps, in the room with him. You sort of are seeing like a little fishbowl image of this room that Melen is currently in. Whatever he's looking at seems to be on a table of some sort, steady, and he is sort of standing in the eye of this image, and is just going to kind of leave the space.
June says, "By the light, how many people do you think he has trapped like this?"
I don't know.
Isaac would have already walked over, and he's gonna, like, this thing has been split in half. He's gonna take its broken leg and throw it on top of it, take his face and throw it on top of it, and he's gonna start casting a spell on it. And he's gonna try and use mending to fix it.
I was gonna say, please tell me you're going to animate that thing and take it over.
Okay. As you go to use mending on it, you will fix the absolute minimum on the creature. And you feel your pouch, you have like a little tiny pouch on your belt, and it seems to like shrink to use whatever
Currency.
money you had on you.
Okay.
So it has, it is a total of 9 hit points right now.
This does?
Yes.
Okay. And then he will go ahead and animate it.
All right. As you
Got
touch
more
it,
than me.
it will get up.
I don't tell you guys I'm doing this, though, so to you guys, this thing just got up again.
You guys are going to see.
We're not, no.
Okay. That's what I figured.
You guys are going to see Hero like, and then he sort of like pushes himself up, and then, oh, they're gone. He says, "Yes, we won." And then he kind of looks around. He looks up at Melen's little fisheye, looking at him sort of in the background doing stuff. You're not sure exactly what he's doing, but he's messing with something out of sight. He goes, "Does he know we can still see him?"
Doesn't look like it. We'd best figure out how to get out of here then.
Yeah, I want him to look back at this thing and us not be here next time.
Unfortunately, I'm going to be fairly slow. She looks unhappy.
Could you ride on that creature?
How stable do you think it is?
Yeah, if she falls off, she could be done for.
Can you, like, put your arms out like this?
Yes, she can.
Okay. As Isaac's animating it and it's, like, getting back up onto its legs, he's like, "Yes, I'll play his little games." And then he realizes you can hear him and he's like,
June, you can see an amused glint in her her porcelain eyes.
Isaac, you got inspiration.
Oh,
Yes,
I
it
had
was.
inspiration already. Yeah.
But that was great.
And then hearing you all talk about your impediments, he's gonna see if the creature can just like pick you up like a baby and then walk with you.
So the creature's hands are made out of metal claws.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
wood.
sure that's a great idea.
Okay.
As it goes
Honestly,
forward,
if Hero was more stable, I would ask him to, but
He's tripping.
I'm concerned.
He's literally tripping.
Like, part of me was like, it would be weird if we, like, opened up a little hole in him and I got inside, right?
That would be hilarious.
Like a tauntaun.
So we're not gonna do that.
Hero is going to go, well, you made those saws. Can you make some shoes?
It only lasts for a minute.
But can't you just do it over and over again?
I guess.
She shrugs and then she will make herself soft inside.
Well,
So Dr. Scholl's.
technically, actually, she makes herself a little wagon
Oh, that's so
that
cute.
makes so much more sense.
and then gets one of you guys to pull. Or,
The monster's just
attached
gonna
to
like
the
hook
monster.
one metal
Yeah.
finger through the wagon handle and just like pull it behind him.
well, until we get to there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel, did the matchsticks have their igniting ends still on them?
No,
Okay.
they did not. They were just like cut little wooden shards.
Are the
Gotcha.
stairs a way out of the arena that we're in?
Uh,
Or are we walled in here?
you can see that the stairs definitely go up out of sight.
I think we
You
can
can't
also
see
go.
what's up them right now unless you go over there. You also can't see what's down those two paths that the other monsters came from.
How fast are you, Euphemia?
20 feet?
20 feet. Are we the fastest ones?
Technically, I do have 20 feet. It's just I'll break if I try to do it.
Also,
I'm
if
also
something attacks
20,
you
so
in
then I'm the
shadow,
same as
that
you
just
guys.
seems really bad. I don't think you should be.
Squishy
like
does.
that. Yeah.
So, well, me and you could go scout ahead.
Let's do it.
Well, he's gonna grab Euphemia and say, "Let's go scout ahead and make sure it's safe for the wagon and the monster."
Euphemia, I will note you are the only other one with a pouch.
Okay. Is there...
Oh, you mean she can do something?
I'm saying you have a pouch on your belt. Nobody else does except for Isaac.
What's in it?
She'd probably check it out then.
As you open it up, you see you have 3 wooden coins in it.
Is that what's in mine?
You don't know.
Was.
Maybe it
Oh,
was.
mine's just empty now.
As you open yours, it's just an empty sack.
Gotcha.
She'll be like, what in the world?
They're teeny tiny. But they're
Oh,
cute.
what are they for?
Maybe he thought a person like you would have money, Hero says.
Maybe we'll run into a little toy merchant down here.
She gives him a rather droll look. I guess. I don't think money's going to be that useful.
Well, then give it to me. I can use it for my magic. Isaac will like dangle his empty pouch and say, I had the same. It's what I used to fix this guy.
You're sure it was the same?
No, I didn't look in the pouch before I cast the spell, but
That's careless, she says. As if she's any better. She only now just checked the pouch.
Euphemia, Hero's going to say, you just said it was useless. Why are you hesitating to give it to him?
besides giving this guy's penchant for figurines, I do think we'll run into a merchant down here. I mean, look at everything else he's got, Isaac says, and he looks up at the projection that we can still see.
Can she detach the pouch? Or
Yes.
okay, she'll do that and then she'll just toss it at you.
Okay, Isaac tries to catch it.
She wants to see him totally drop
So you're
it.
able to just like put your fingers up and it just kind of...
Okay, perfect.
Tries to catch it. I love that.
I know.
Yeah, you have these 3 little wooden coins. They're clearly carved and they have a little like coin symbol on them.
3 coins.
It's like Monopoly money.
Yeah.
Okay. And does anybody look forward in your space, or are you guys just hanging out here for the time being?
Well,
We're gonna scout.
Yeah, we're gonna scout ahead.
Are you guys going to be stealthy?
I think that's wise.
Sure.
Okay. please roll me, both of you, a stealth check. Roland, for once, you don't have disadvantage on stealth.
I don't have stealth.
It's your dexterity modifier.
Oh, okay, cool. Wait, so -2?
Yep, that's right.
Wow, yours is as bad as mine.
11.
I'm better at stealth than you are.
Oh,
it's still a
shit.
good roll.
I actually
Nice.
have a higher dex than you.
14.
14? Because you have more flexibility.
Oh, because I have fingers.
All right. Roland's joints creak like a little action figure as he moves forward. And then when he gets to the stairs, you're like locked in action pose, so you have to like... Euphemia, you kind of plop your way up the stairs and see that it's a very short stairwell. The two side chambers, as you pass by them, you see that, hilariously, they literally are just two dead ends that end almost immediately, where the monsters were waiting to attack you. As you reach the top of the stairs, you look out and see a hanging wooden cage with a little broken toy in it, and the toy's just kind of like,
Oh.
with a little broken doll face.
I sincerely hope that wasn't a person.
Oh, it definitely was.
You also hear the fluttering of cloth and like little babies cry in the distance. It appears as though you've entered some sort of toy dungeon. You see little cages made out about the same type of wood that your cages were. And the little hanging cages, most of them are empty. There's only like 4 of them in your sight line. But one of them has a toy in it. And there are crisscrossing corridors before you. Looks like one to your left, one to your right, and sort of one straight on.
She's gonna glance at Roland. Shall we go in?
Yes.
You guys leave behind the rest of the crew and head on?
I mean, aren't they slowly behind us?
Are you guys moving forward?
We are standing at the base of the steps
Yeah,
waiting
you
for a
guys said
signal
you were
from
just
you
going to
guys.
scout
Oh,
ahead
shit.
and tell us what's going
So
on.
if you guys give us the
but I also
wave, we
don't
start
know.
coming up.
We don't really know what we were looking at yet.
That's fair. We can go back and report first.
Yeah, we're just looking at the hallway.
If you describe what you saw, Isaac's like, oh, sounds like a dungeon for prisoners.
Yeah, so
You seem
we'll
familiar with this.
Just an educated guess.
You're going to note that the image of Melen sort of screwing around in the background has followed whichever one of you is the farthest ahead, specifically.
Okay.
It's sort of floating in the ceiling, carving along silently near you, and then sort of like follows the walls.
So conceivably, he won't be able to see us if he looked back what we were doing right away.
Correct. That seems to be the case.
When she notices it following you, she's going to do an arcane check or something. She wants to see if she can learn any more about the castle spells.
It looks like, at the very least, whatever the castle was enchanted with is almost invisible. And with your reduced power, without an ample time to study, maybe open the wall up, you don't think you could really gain any information on its enchantments.
Okay. Worth a shot.
One thing you'll note, Roland and Euphemia, since you guys are the ones the image is following, Roland, you're going to see Melen is dragging something into frame.
Oh, no.
And he's going to kind of prop whatever it is up against the wall, and you're going to see your head sort of loll into view of the frame. It is Roland's body. And you're going to see him, like, he kind of rubs his hands together, and then you're going to hear the familiar shh of unsheathing Lord Jerem's blade.
Oh, dude, we gotta get out of here. He's playing with my sword right now.
I mean, he has all of our prone bodies. I'm almost more concerned about that than playing with a sword.
It's better he's messing with your stuff than mine.
Are we with them yet?
Not yet.
Oh, wait. If it's just you two, I don't say that.
Roland, you're going to see him sort of like, Lord Jerem's blade. He's going to like, and you'll see, wow, super sharp. And then he just starts like,
He's gonna cut your head off by accident.
Yeah.
he's making the sword noises as he flings it around. He goes, evildoers! And he sort of looks at it. he's gonna hold it up to chop a table, and he like chops down, and you note immediately what's gonna happen because his grip is too hard. The sword is too light, and as he flings it downwards and it hits, he's not ready for the impact. The sword, or he's too ready for the impact. So the sword just like slits right through the table, which is like that thick. And then he sort of like drops it, and it flings around in the air. And then almost like it's just done being played with by an amateur, it just shrink right into the ground. And he sort of looks at it, vaguely terrified of the sword. And then he sort of walks away, and you see a little hand appear and pick up the sword and like move it around. So, what are you guys doing from your scouting position?
She'll say, I think perhaps we should go back and report what we've seen. Although it might be you and I going in first anyway.
Yeah. Alright.
What's going on up there? Hero yells from down the stairs.
She'll descend back down the stairs to
You
talk
guys
to
come
them.
into view.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you go. I'll stay here.
All right.
You're creepy.
It's gonna be a whole ordeal when you get back down those stairs.
Does the, picture, the floaty thing stay with Roland then?
Yes, it will stay whichever is the most forward.
Okay,
in the
so it'll
castle.
stay with you. So she'll totter back down the stairs and report what she saw to you all and what she's heard.
All right. As you report, we will go ahead and take a break there. And wanted to say thank you very much for joining us, our friends. We really appreciate you coming out. And please remember, do like and subscribe and make sure you hit the bell icon for the notifications so you don't ever miss a video from the Homebrew channel. Thank you, guys.